Are you making a move to Northern Virginia and Loudoun County is at the top of your list? Purchasing a home and making a move is one of the biggest decisions that you'll probably make in your lifetime. There's a ton of information and a ton of different factors to sift through before making that ultimate final decision. So I'm going to go over the top 5 things to consider when making that move to Loudoun County. All right, enough introductions, let's get right into it. Here is my number 1 thing to consider when moving to Loudoun County, and that is, what type of lifestyle do you want? So let's break this down into maybe a couple different scenarios, and I think that'll really help us. So if you're looking for maybe a community with your family here, and you want a single family home, you want some of the schools in the area, you want that nice public pool, you want all the amenities, then you're probably going to want to stick to the eastern side of Loudoun County in places like Aldie, South Riding, Brambleton. But there are also some other options for you a little bit further west, like Purcellville or maybe Round Hill. All right, so scenario 2, you're moving here and you're by yourself. You're looking for a bar, you're looking for restaurants, you're looking for a little bit of walkability. There's a few different options for you, but not many in Loudoun County. The first is One Loudoun. It's located over in Ashburn, and it's got a ton of walkability. There's a movie theater, there's a Topgolf, there's new restaurants and new bars popping up there all the time. Very, very, very popular. The other option is going to be downtown Leesburg. Now, it's tough to find a home in downtown Leesburg because a lot of people that live there just don't want to move. There's not much turnover there. Now, this isn't quite as modern as One Loudoun, but it's very, very historical, and once you're there, you're going to absolutely love it. There's so many bars you can walk to, restaurants you can walk to, coffee shops, bakeries. Honestly, it's one of our favorite towns located in Northern Virginia. One of our favorite places to go to is the Lightfoot restaurant. It's an old bank that they gutted. They kept the actual vault, has the bar. They serve up some great cocktails and some good food. So if you're in Leesburg, make sure to go check it out. And that brings us to scenario 3. You're not a fan of that community type feel. You don't want all the congestion of maybe One Loudoun or Leesburg, but you're looking for a little bit of acreage, space from your neighbors, maybe a little bit slower pace of life, some peace and quiet. You're going to want to stick to the western side of Loudoun County. And for that, probably recommend places like Lovettsville, Middleburg, Round Hill, Waterford, and there's really a bunch of other little small towns that neighbor all of those that would be some great options. My second thing to consider when moving to Loudoun County is going to be your location of work. Are you going to be traveling into DC? Are you going to be traveling up into Maryland? Are you going to be working from home? Is it going to be a little bit of a shorter commute? There's a lot of things to consider there, so let's break it down. If you have to travel into Washington, D.C. for work, I would highly recommend to stay near the Dulles Toll Road. The toll road has a few different names, one just being the Toll Road 267, the Dulles Greenway, or the Dulles Toll Road. But that's going to be your easiest and fastest way to get into Washington, D.C. or any area surrounding inside the Beltway. If you're going to be flying often, you'll probably also want to stay near the toll road because it's going to give you direct access to Dulles International Airport. If you have to travel up into Maryland or maybe further south into Prince William County, you probably want to have some pretty good access to Route 15. It does go into some one-lane roads here and there, so it can get a little congested. So just keep that in mind of how far you might have to travel. And then your last option is going to be working from home. I know working from home has become very, very popular since COVID, and with that, so is Loudoun County. A lot of people that used to live in Arlington or Washington, D.C. started to move out west because they didn't have to be in those specific locations for their jobs. One thing to make sure of when you are looking for homes in Loudoun County and you're going to be working from home is to make sure that whatever internet speeds that you need to do your job efficiently are available. Some of those rural type areas might have satellite type internet where it's not going to be what you're actually looking for. The third thing to consider when moving to Loudoun County is what type of home do you want? Are you looking for just a standard single family home, which there are a ton of them here? Are you looking for a townhouse? Are you looking for a condo? Are you looking for a 4-level condo? Are you looking for an historic home, a farm, a horse property? Loudoun County is so unique in the fact that they can offer all these different options at a variety of different costs. Let's talk new construction. So nationwide, new construction numbers and new home builds are way down at their expected levels. And we'd love to see them higher, but they're just not there yet. Loudoun County is no exception to this, but luckily out of the other counties in Northern Virginia, Loudoun County is probably sitting prettiest with some pretty good options. Keep in mind that whenever you're going to build new construction, you're probably looking for 8 to 10 months out. For a standard single-family home, condos and townhomes might be a little bit shorter than that. But if you're going custom on maybe a huge estate lot, you're definitely going to be pushing that 10-month mark and likely further. Not everything in Loudoun County is new construction, though. There are a ton of historical homes. Many of these are located in Leesburg or Middleburg, and some of them actually date back to the 18th century. The style of those homes are pretty cool to see, and I always love when they hit the market. Some of them are even that shotgun style home that you would see in New Orleans. And then there's also neighborhoods that are 20, 30 years old that are a little bit more established, some high trees, some great lots. So make sure to keep those on your radar as well. Outside of single family homes, there's also many different condos and townhomes available. These come in all different sizes and styles. Some of the condos are 2 level, some of them are 4 level, some of them have elevators in them, and then some of the townhomes can even get up to 3,000 square feet. So these are always great options if you're looking for still some space, still to own a home, but don't want all the maintenance issues of a single family house, a yard, and everything else that might come with it. Believe it or not, there's also farms and horse properties here in Loudoun County. Outside of all those neighborhoods, once you start working your way out west, you're going to run into all of those sitting on a ton of acreage, a ton of privacy, and honestly, just truly beautiful. The fourth thing to consider when moving to Loudoun County is affordability, or what's your budget. A general rule of thumb here in Northern Virginia is the closer that you live to DC, the more pricey the house is going to be. Once you start making your way further west, for instance, like Loudoun County, that's where you're going to start to see a little bit of price cut. Now, within Loudoun County, the same rule applies. The eastern side and some of the brand new homes are going to be a little bit more pricier than some of the ones out west that might be a little bit more dated. Keep in mind, this all varies and fluctuates based on square footage, when the house was built, how many acres the house is on, and so forth. So, for example, if we took a home, the exact same home, and put it in Aldie and then put it in Lovettsville, sitting on the same piece of land, the Aldie home is likely going to be a little bit more pricier than the one out in Lovettsville, just due to the location of Washington, D.C. Our fifth and final thing to consider when making the move into Loudoun County is, what are your leisure activities? What do you like to do for fun? We're huge proponents of the term love where you live, and luckily Loudoun County provides a ton of different options. If you're into the outdoors, trails, hiking, biking, you might want to stay further out west into the Bluemont area, where you're going to have great access to the Appalachian Trail or Raven Rock's Outlook. If you're into golf, maybe you want to consider one of these private type golf communities like Raspberry Falls in Leesburg, or make your way over to South Riding. Loudoun County is a hot spot for breweries and wineries. There's over 50 different wineries located in the county, and there are a ton of breweries. I swear there's a new brewery popping up every single day. Some of our favorite breweries include the Vanish Brewery, located out in Luckett's, or also Solace over in Sterling. Our favorite winery is going to be Stone Tower out in Leesburg. Maybe you absolutely hate the outdoors and you'd rather be sitting in a coffee shop drinking an espresso, or sitting at a bar with a martini. As mentioned before, there's some places with some walkability like One Loudoun in Leesburg that can give you that exact feel of what you're looking for. My biggest piece of advice is to speak with a realtor before you start your home search. Open up those lines of communication so that they know exactly what you're looking for, and they can help you sift through some of this information, all these different factors when deciding where is the best place to live. We not only consider ourselves expert real estate agents, but we also consider ourselves local experts, so we can help answer any of these type of questions that you might have. I hope this really helped in your decision of where to live in Loudoun County. If you are going to be moving here, we can't wait to have you. I'm Steven Ellis with Ellis Properties. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for all the great places to live and things to do in Northern Virginia.